Are you ready to rediscover yourself? Right now, more than ever, many of us are waking up and realizing that the life we've been living isn't necessarily the life that fulfills us. Many of us are recognizing that we're not happy, or even worse, we're struggling really deeply with things like mental health concerns, anxiety, depression. Many of us, our relationships are dissolving, maybe our marriages are ending, and there are some big transitionings happening in our life. And we realize that along the way, we have lost ourselves. So if you can relate to this, you're in the right place, because the exciting thing about this process is that we are realizing that there is more to life, and we're ready and we're open to explore and understand what actually makes us happy as we come to know deep down inside who we are once again. So, naturally in life, we tend to lose ourselves in order to then recognize the importance of finding ourselves again. So it's a common process. And of course, in this world, there's so many ways we can lose ourselves. Starting with our childhood, we are really brought into this world and going through the school system, where we are told how we should be living, how we should be thinking, how we should be doing this and doing that. And over time, we tend to do what we think we need to be doing or should be doing based on the world around us, based on what people are telling us, and therefore disconnecting from our own hearts, our own souls, our own needs and desires, and the gifts that we bring into this world. So, of course, we lose ourselves in this process, and very easily in relationships, we fall in love with somebody and we get so close that we become one, and we lose our individuality and the things that we really love about ourselves, or the things that we really love to do in life. So, relationships, careers, and all these aspects of life, we tend to go down these pathways until we reach a point where we realize, shit, this isn't working. So often we refer to this as a midlife crisis, and I can relate to this. However, my midlife crisis literally came when I was about 25 years old, when my sister ended her life. She was 18 years old, and it really shook me as I was really focused on business, my career, and success and money. So those were my main focuses. It really had nothing to do with what actually made me happy, what fulfilled me, but more on what I thought made me happy based on the world around me, which is really based on material wealth and success. And so it's been a deep process of coming to know myself. And of course, part of this process for us is the willingness to let go of so many things that don't actually serve us, so many things that hold us back. So it's a big part of this transitionary process to let go of the habits that don't serve us, maybe, or the relationships that are unhealthy and not serving us. And any areas that we're spending our life in ways that are not really nurturing us, meeting our needs, meeting our desires, but instead distracting us maybe from doing the things we want to do, or pulling on us energetically, thinking that we don't have the energy to do what we want to do. So naturally, we fall back into those patterns over time. We release these patterns to further recognize first the gap between the way we were living and the way we want to be living. So there's this period in between of transitioning and adjusting vibrationally and in our lifestyle and our way of thinking, that we have to travel through this valley to really touch parts of ourselves maybe that we've been avoiding, certain thoughts about ourselves and thoughts about life, feelings that maybe we've suppressed and haven't had the time and space to allow ourselves to feel, but again, have been avoiding. And so, the more time and space we need to take for ourselves, we see these old stories, these patterns coming up, and we can see them more clearly that they're holding us back. So, as we pass through this valley of the unknown, we want to realign our lives by firstly becoming clear, what are we needing in this life? What are our actual needs? Because so often we spend our time trying to meet the needs of others, but don't actually meet our own needs. So we want to look at the core foundation of our life, the physical needs, and of course the need to be healthy in our lives, to feed ourselves with healthy food and to do healthy things and to have a balance to our life. These are some of our core needs. And then from there, what do I desire to do in this life? What actually makes me happy? And so if we've gotten away from even knowing the things we love to do in life or the things that make us happy, again, this is such an exciting new adventure to be embarking on, because we get to go further to know what we actually want in life, and to realize furthermore that maybe we're more free than we realize. Maybe it's just we ourselves that have been holding ourselves back, trying to meet the needs of others or what society wants from us rather than what we want for ourselves. So it's like we're becoming children again to begin exploring what we actually want in this life. What are our passions? What are our interests? What are the things we wanting to learn, to explore, to experience, or to express into this world? And are we actually having the courage and faith to allow them to be experienced or expressed or explored? Are we allowed to be curious little children to learn how to play guitar for the first time because we've always wanted to? Or are we willing to go on a trip to a place where we've always wanted to go but haven't yet been? Are we willing to give ourselves that time and space to explore this planet, for example? Maybe also romantic relationships. Maybe we're ready and wanting to experience healthy, deeper, more fulfilling relationships in our life, to have a partner that really feels aligned and able to meet us in ways that we're able to meet them. So there's so many aspects as we realign towards our desires, and recognizing also deep down that there is purpose to our life. And are we able to realign with the purpose of our existence? And of course, the most basic purpose that we all serve is this potential and this power we have to bring positive change into the lives of others and into this world, to bring light, to bring love, to bring any sort of information or motivation, inspiration, positive energy through anything that we really love to do, and recognizing there's purpose to all of it. There's purpose to just existing, and our ability to go into a grocery store and exist and enjoy and connect with somebody if you're meant to connect, and to share that brief moment of presence, of love. So we're again realigning and seeing, wow, there's purpose to every aspect of life when you come to see the intricate details and web of life. And we begin to tap into this magic that actually exists on this planet. It's pure magic, all of it. It's created in miracles after miracles and many intricate miracles and magical instances. So we can celebrate it more and more when we tap into the realization of this magic and the miracle of existing here in health, in harmony, in perfection with everything that exists. So naturally, as we go through this process, we have old stories, we have fears, we have doubts, we have things of the past that have been holding us back, but we haven't yet been able to face because we felt like our circumstances were holding us back. Maybe it was a certain relationship or a certain job, or maybe now all of a sudden you don't have these things being your limits. And furthermore, you're recognizing the limits within yourself. And this is where it gets really beautiful, but also really intense sometimes, because we're wanting to take steps forward towards the life we want to live, the dreams we have, and yet part of us is holding us back out of fear, out of doubts, and these limiting beliefs often coming from our childhood and experienced all the way up. So we have this great opportunity to revisit this inner child and support this child, which needs to know they're safe as we continue to venture through the unknown, deepening into trust, deepening into faith, and further celebrating the life that we're living, celebrating who you are as an individual on this great adventure. So we're moving further and further towards the realization of life itself as eternal beings here in physical reality on this great adventure of life, this great mission to simply explore this reality, to express who we are, to experience what life has to offer us, and to continue to just further travel along step by step. So it's a beautiful process of rediscovering ourselves, and it can seem like a crisis, like a midlife crisis, or the breakup, or being fired from a job, or especially when it's coming from the outside and our circumstances have changed so much, they're shaking us at our core and making us come back to come to know ourselves. It's in these moments that we can react out of distrust. We can, resist what life is giving us, and therefore create this pain and this suffering or this crisis. Or we can realize, wow, okay, life is presenting me with this opportunity. And of course, in honesty, yes, it's scary, but in a good sense, if I'm in a positive state of mind, it's also very exciting. So you'll notice excitement and fear and this way of life become sort of hand in hand depending on the space and the mindset that we're in. So of course, the healthier that we're living in terms of, meeting our needs, then the higher we can fly, and the more we can realize that we're on a good path, the more we can realize our connection to the spirit world, to source, to creation, and the guidance we're receiving as we're protected and being provided everything we need, everything that we desire. Furthermore, in our heart and soul, it may not be what we think we want in our minds, but we're closing and releasing the illusions of the mind to come back to realize what is actually in our hearts. What does our soul want for this lifetime and this journey that we're on? And the more we surrender to that in faith and go through the unknown, the more we can just celebrate the present moment of being here now where you are, because it's simply a part of where you're going. And you may not be fully clear on each and every step, but at least if you understand the direction in which you desire to be traveling in and desiring to experience, and have the faith, the best that you can, to trust that step by step you will be shown the way. And furthermore, you will be able to follow the way as you're being guided. So I congratulate you for watching this video and taking this step in your life. And of course, if there's anything I can do to further support your journey of magic and rediscovery, then for sure feel free to reach out or check out the website ur-magic.com. Or of course, if you want more insight like this, where I share very practical knowledge in integrating our spiritual path to embody our truth and to step into the light, feel free to subscribe, to like this video, to share it, as so many of us right now are having to break through this idea of being in crisis and going through the unknown to realize once again that we are love and we are magic.